From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good morning and happy Friday. Right now you're taking a live look at Yakima. This view coming courtesy of Bi-Mart. You see some clouds up in the sky. We're going to have more clouds for today as opposed to yesterday. This morning temperatures down in the 30s and 40s for lower elevations, 30s and 40s for the Blues, 30s and 40s also up in the Cascades. Here's your day planner forecast for today for lower elevations. Going to be up into the 60s and 70s as soon as lunchtime, then 70s and 80s for the peak of daytime heating. So in spite of the uptick in clouds, we're actually going to be about 10 degrees warmer compared to yesterday. Here's the bottom line for the forecast. Dry and still warming things up for today and tomorrow, but then temperatures go down as we have shower and thunderstorm chances going up for Mother's Day, Monday, and Tuesday, turning very windy in the Kittitas Valley for Tuesday and Wednesday in particular. So I will tell you about all the moving parts of this forecast coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, an arrest has been made in connection to a Kennewick drive-by shooting. We have what police found and what charges the suspect now faces.
With fire season just around the corner, funding cuts and staffing shortages at the U.S. Forest Service are raising some concerns for officials. Why senators say the Pacific Northwest is dangerously unprepared.
And yesterday, white smoke appeared and a new pope was selected, and later we'll see how the world and local leaders reacted. It's all on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Jade Elliott. It is Friday, May 9th. We made it to the end of the week.
We have finally made it. I'm so excited. We've got our red on because we wear red every Friday.
Yes, we do, and we're headed into Mother's Day weekend as well.
That's right.
Hopefully it'll be a nice one. We'll, of course, check in with Josh in a minute for your Mother's Day forecast. But first, we have some updates we want to get to this morning. An update actually on a shooting that happened last week in Kennewick. It happened near Clearwater and Fillmore.
And it happened back on April 28th. Police responded to reports of a drive-by shooting, and officers found 2 shell casings and launched a large-scale search near the Clearwater Square apartments. They used drones and canine units.
Yeah, 3 people are actually taken into custody that night, including a teen boy who was wanted out of Pasco for robbery.
And yesterday morning, Kennewick's criminal apprehension team, along with Tri-City SWAT and detectives, arrested a 16-year-old boy in connection to the shooting.
Yeah, he's now been booked on charges of first-degree assault and unlawful possession of a firearm.
Staying in Kennewick now, where police responded to a crash that happened yesterday just after midnight. The driver, 29-year-old Keanu Ashby, is suspected of driving while under the influence of marijuana and alcohol. Witnesses say he was speeding and ran a red light before crashing into a Ford truck at the intersection of South Washington Street and West First Avenue. The driver of the truck was taken to the hospital with minor injuries and has since been released, but police tell us Ashby was not wearing a seatbelt and was also injured and taken to the hospital, and he's facing DUI charges. He'll be booked into jail when he's released, and he has been released, so he's been booked into jail.
Moving to Grant County now, where people of an area known as the Hiawatha Homeless Camp were served eviction notices. Grant County Sheriff's Office, along with police from Colville and the Confederated Tribes, placed the notices on over 50 recreation vehicles and trailers. People on the property were notified that they would face criminal trespassing charges if they didn't leave by 10 a.m. Thursday morning. Trespassing on county-owned property is prohibited, according to Grant County Code.
Now in Fire Watch news, officials are sounding the alarm over what some say are dangerous funding cuts and staffing shortages at the U.S. Forest Service. So Senators Patty Murray and Jeff Merkley held a virtual press call with Pacific Northwest wildfire officials, and this all happened yesterday.
Yeah, Apple Valley News Now's Dan Hansen says they warn that these cuts are putting communities in Washington and Oregon at serious risk ahead of wildfire season.
With wildfire season just weeks away, Senators Patty Murray and Jeff Merkley say the Pacific Northwest is unprepared.
Wildfires are not new to the Pacific Northwest. They are not a surprise. They are a constant threat.
The senators say roughly 7,400 workers have been cut from the Forest Service nationwide, more than 500 of them from Washington and Oregon. Many were frontline firefighters. On top of that, a federal hiring freeze is raising questions about whether seasonal fire crews can even be brought in on time.
His illegal funding freezes stopped essential wildfire preparedness and mitigation work forced crews to furlough staff, costing us precious time to clear underbrush and thin overgrowth and reduce hazardous fuels.
State and local officials on the call echoed the urgency, saying the cuts are already being felt on the ground.
The incident management team shortages that we're looking at for this coming fire season are very concerning. 9 out of those 45 incident management teams are no longer staffed.
The group is calling on Congress and the Trump administration to restore funding and stop the brain drain from the agencies that help keep wildfires under control.
What we need this administration to do right now is to make sure that there are no more impacts to agencies like the Forest Service.
These leaders want transparency and support before it's too late. Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Dan. Now, the cuts and hiring freeze of these workers are a part of President Trump's plans to cut federal spending.
According to the Department of Interior, they are supporting firefighters, with increased pay for those wildland firefighters.
And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, white smoke appeared and a new pope was announced just yesterday. And coming up, we know what we know so far about the new leader and how locals are reacting to the selection.
And at 5:06 on this Friday morning, giving you a live look outside from our Bi-Mart camera in Yakima. When we come back, we'll check in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth. He'll have your first alert forecast.
With McValue at McDonald's, you'll get deals on drinks whenever you hit your afternoon slump.
We've got your pick-me-up covered because medium drinks are now $2.29. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
For 600 different cigars and 125 pipe tobaccos. For every cigar rated 96 and higher by Cigar Aficionado. For 200 accessories including dozens of humidors and fine pipes. It's the educated cigar.
At US Cellular, you can get the amazing new iPhone 16 on us, plus $300 off any iPad, like iPad Air.
That is a great deal. And now an unprompted song to express my excitement.
Just know both devices have Apple Intelligence with Genmoji to express yourself.
iPhone 16 stuns. iPad Air waits in the glow. Sweet.
We should start a band.
Yeah.
Get iPhone 16 on us. No trade-in or plan requirements, plus $300 off any iPad. US Cellular, built for us.
Irresistibly smooth chocolate. To put the world on pause. Lindor, made to melt you. By the Lindt Master Chocolatier.
And Consumer Reports.
We're testers.
This organization accepts no advertising or sponsorship.
Since 1936.
Testing dishwashers, TVs, cars, vacuums.
We buy directly from stores, just like you.
Making sure products are safe.
And that they last.
Because we're advocates.
Engineers and scientists. We're testers. We're Consumer Reports.
Join us.
When you say let's go to breakfast, you mean let's go to McDonald's. Obviously.
Get the morning going when you buy one breakfast sandwich and get another one for $1.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
It's an all-new season of Pyramid. We got huge laughs.
I don't read words, I read body language.
And the kind of wins that will have you jumping for joy.
Michael Strahan hosts an all-new season of Pyramid. New Sunday on ABC.
Judy Justice.
And I'm just getting started.
Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Yesterday was a cooler day compared to the previous couple of days, but today is going to be a warmer day out there. In spite of that, it's still a little bit chilly outside. 31 for Cle Elum, could be a little bit frosty there. Too warm for that for Ellensburg as we're at 38. In the Yakima Valley, spanning from 37 to 45, 45 for Selah, 37 for Sunnyside, 37 in Yakima. Then in the Lower Columbia Basin, these temperatures spanning from 38 to 45, 38 for the Tri-Cities, 45 up to towards the Hanford site. Then for the Blue Foothills, mid to upper 40s, 48 for Milton Freewater, 43 for Lexington, and then we're in the 30s for the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. Could be a little bit frosty up towards Cabbage Hill or Meecha. Here's your coatcast for today for the Tri-Cities. A light jacket stuff for this morning, at least after 8 a.m. and then it's going to be t-shirt weather around lunchtime. We'll hold on to that throughout the rest of today. As for today, we'll end up being about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than normal for May 9th. That means upper 70s in the Kittitas Valley, low to mid 80s in the Yakima Valley, lower Columbia Basin, and the Blue Foothills. We'll have another pretty dry and warm day for Saturday. Then temperatures go down, shower and thunderstorm chances go up as we head into Mother's Day, and that'll continue as we start off next week. So I'll tell you about that storm system coming up in a few minutes.
Really was an incredible moment to experience. Thousands in Vatican City and around the world watched as white smoke billowed from the Sistine Chapel, signaling a new pope had been selected.
So American Cardinal Robert Prevost will now lead 1.4 billion Catholics.
Yeah, the 69-year-old chose the name Pope Leo XIV. He's considered an experienced leader and was formerly the head of the Vatican Office for Bishop Appointments.
He was born in Chicago and studied mathematics at Villanova University before becoming ordained as a priest in 1982. He's also spent many years as a missionary in Peru.
So as the news broke, of course, local reaction began to pour in. U.S. Senator Maria Cantwell of Washington releasing this statement regarding the election of the new pope, saying, in quote, "I join the millions of Americans around the country in celebrating the selection of a new pope. Pope Francis had a message to the world. All of us must help lift the most vulnerable up." And she finished by saying, Pope Leo XIV, the first American pope, has my prayers for strength as he leads the Catholic Church.
Pasco City Councilman Leo Perales had this to say about the new pope, and he says in part, quote, "From one Leo to another, congratulations, Your Holiness. On behalf of the Pasco community, I offer warm congratulations to Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost." And he went on to say, quote, "I just want to say you've really raised the bar for the rest of us. I mean, I serve on city council. You now serve 1.3 billion people." And he ended it with saying, "Pasco proudly joins the global celebration and sends its blessings as you begin this historic papacy."
And in the meantime, this was the scene in Kennewick shortly after the big announcement from Rome.
And you can see here that two priests waving the Vatican flags and ringing the large bell outside St. Joseph Catholic Church right there in Kennewick.
Yeah, one priest said in both English and Spanish, "It's the first American pope. Let's pray for him. Let's be grateful for God to give us another one." It was a big day.
Yeah. Amazing to see. And coming up in our 6 o'clock hour of Good Morning Northwest, we'll take a look at how the brother of Pope Leo reacted when he saw that his youngest brother became the newly elected pope.
And Apple Valley News Now also spoke with the Bishop of Yakima to hear how he feels about the selection. We'll have all of that coming up in our 6 o'clock hour.
At Smoke City for Less, we understand every smoker is unique. Explore our over 1,500 vape flavors and specialty curated selection of tobacco products. Your perfect flavor and blend awaits at any of Smoke City for Less 6 locations. Save your pennies. Smoke City for Less has the lowest prices. Find the best vape mods, batteries, kratom, and specialty products too. Our knowledgeable staff is always on hand to provide personalized recommendations. Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
Was a resident here. Think of me as one of you.
You're unbelievable. So unbelievable.
Prosser Memorial Health reminds you, watch Grey's Anatomy Thursdays. Prosser Memorial Health, this is how we care.
Ever feel like something's missing? Like there's a hole in your morning routine? Well, we've got just the thing. At Some Bagels, we make more than fresh bagels. We make a variety of baked goods to fill your day with everything you've been missing. Have your favorite coffee drink with our in-house roasted espresso beans. And enjoy your bagel with our flavored cream cheeses. Because at Some Bagels, the only thing better than the hole in the middle is everything around it. I want some, you want some, we want some, gimme Some Bagels.
To keep your home cool and comfortable all summer, your air conditioner needs maintenance this spring. Vance will inspect, test, and clean your AC so it's ready for hot weather. Don't take a chance. Call Vance.
Feeling overwhelmed? It's time to shed your worries, literally. At Columbia Basin Buildings and Sheds, we've got the perfect shed to clear the clutter, create space, and bring peace to your life. Man cave, playhouse, done. Want something custom? We'll build it just the way you want it. And we deliver for free. Spring is here. Shed the mess, shed the stress. See dealer for special pricing. Visit Columbia Basin Building and Sheds today, 3680 West Van Giesen in West Richland.
Check out the Ellensburg Bowl. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today is going to be a cloudier day as opposed to yesterday, but in spite of that, we're going to be warmer. We'll be about 10 degrees warmer than normal with 70s and 80s for lower elevations, 60s up in the Cascades. Looks like we're going to have 60s and 70s up in the Blues. Winds pretty light for today, could be a little bit breezy in the Blue foothills. And then for tonight, it's going to be mostly cloudy at this point. Can't rule out a stray shower or thunderstorm in the Blues, but we should be mostly dry. Overnight low is going to be mild, 40s and 50s for lower elevations, 30s and 40s for the Cascades, 40s and 50s for the Blues. For tomorrow, broad time frame for peak wind gusts 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. It's going to be a little bit more blustery out there, especially for Salinas Pass, the Kittitas Valley, and the Blue foothills of Morrow County, as some of those peak gusts could be around 40 miles per hour. We'll have a lot more to say about the winds here in just a second, but okay, Saturday going to be a mostly dry day. Could have another shower and thunderstorm in the Blues. It's going to be Sunday through Tuesday, in which shower and thunderstorm chances are going to be elevated, especially for Sunday and Monday. There's going to be specific emphasis on both of those days. So from 11 a.m. on Mother's Day to 5 in the morning on Tuesday, we could pick up, well, not a lot of rainfall for the Cascades, the valleys of the basin, but between 0.1 to 0.2 inches for the Blue foothills, between 0.3 to 0.4 for the Blue Mountains. Now, the winds are going to be a big-time issue as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday, specifically for the Kittitas Valley. Peak gusts out of the north and west up around 50 miles per hour. And we're thinking that for Wednesday, the wind gusts could be even stronger. It's a little bit too early to show you some of those numbers, but just know that that's the direction that they're trending in. Okay, the storm system for this weekend going to do a number to our high temperatures as we'll be in the mid-80s in the Tri-Cities for today and tomorrow, then back down to very seasonal stuff for Sunday through Thursday. Here is the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Dry and very warm for Friday and Saturday, then cooler with small shower chances Sunday through Tuesday, perhaps even a thunderstorm possible on Mother's Day. In Yakima, much cooler by Sunday with small shower and thunderstorm chances Sunday through Tuesday, drier by Wednesday. For Ellensburg, windy weather essentially for Saturday and beyond, with the strongest winds likely being reserved for Tuesday and Wednesday. In Hermiston, rain likely and much cooler for Mother's Day and Monday, drier and trending slightly warmer for Tuesday and beyond. Then for Walla Walla, very warm and dry for today and tomorrow, rain likely much cooler for Mother's Day, Monday, and Tuesday.
Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest, we are getting a look at an action thriller set to hit theaters today, and a music icon is celebrating his 76th birthday. All that and more in your entertainment headlines after the break. It's 5:19.
Riding a motorcycle is a great way to travel, but if someone turns in front of you, you're in the danger zone. If you've been hurt in an accident, call Allen Brecky Law Offices, 735-0546. They're waiting to help you.
For 600 different cigars and 125 pipe tobaccos. For every cigar rated 96 and higher by Cigar Aficionado. For 200 accessories including dozens of humidors and fine pipes. It's the educated cigar.
Let's go for a walk. Let's go for a ride. Whether you're shaping up a small yard or taking on serious acreage, let's go the distance. Shop in-store and online for 0% financing and instant rebates on select Steel mowers. Steel. Let's go mow.
Born in 1947. Dedicated to our heroes.
78 years later, we honor that legacy with a bold new chapter. Prosser Memorial Health has opened the doors to its new state-of-the-art hospital, designed with you in mind. This is how we care.
Attention viewers, Good News Today, produced by Richland Lutheran Church, airing Sundays at 9 a.m., will be airing this Saturday, May 10th at 9 a.m. Good News Today will also air a new episode the following weekend on Saturday, May 17th at 9 a.m.
Riding a motorcycle is a great way to travel, but if someone turns in front of you, you're in the danger zone. If you've been hurt in an accident, call Alan Brecky Law Offices, 735-0546. They're waiting to help you.
This newscast sponsored by Shriners Children Spokane.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In your entertainment news, Kerry Washington is set to star in a new action thriller, and it's coming out today.
And Netflix released a teaser for the sequel of a popular series that follows immortal warriors.
Plus, the Piano Man himself is celebrating a birthday today. So here's Zoreen Shaw with the latest in Hollywood.
There isn't a distance you can travel or a hole dug deep enough where I can't reach you.
I can't help but feel a little flattered. Kerry Washington plays a secret agent who will stop at nothing to protect her son in the thriller Shadow Force, out in theaters Friday. She says she was drawn to the film because it balances action and emotion.
It's this incredible opportunity to do action and stunts and weapons training and all of that. But at the heart of it, it's really about these two parents who love each other and love their child so much that they're willing to do everything and anything to protect him.
For centuries, I've watched you fight to protect humanity.
Netflix is giving us a new look at the Old Guard sequel. Charlize Theron, Henry Golding, and Uma Thurman star in the action film about a group of immortal warriors. Netflix says the first movie was watched by 72 million households in the first month of release. Look for The Old Guard 2 on July 2nd. And the Piano Man himself, Billy Joel, turns 76 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Zoreen Shaw, ABC News.
Happy birthday to him.
Now that song's going to be stuck in my head for the rest of the day.
All day long. I've already been singing it to myself.
And it won't leave now.
No. All right, so much for ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. The community has spoken as over 2,000 residents answered a survey that aims to highlight what matters most to the people of Yakima. We're going to break down the results.
Plus, a popular park in the Tri-Cities has been revamped, and now it's open just in time for summer. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, here are your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, the brains of Apple's future devices. According to Bloomberg, Apple is working on new chips to power its first smart glasses. Apple has been ramping up efforts to compete with Meta's Ray-Ban glasses. The report says Apple hopes to begin mass production of the chips in 2027. Next, the huge demand for the Nintendo Switch 2 as pre-orders are underway. Nintendo says it expects to sell 15 million consoles in the first year it's available. That's slightly lower than earlier predictions, but experts say uncertainty around tariffs likely played a role. The Switch 2 hits store shelves in June for $450. And finally, Microsoft founder Bill Gates has announced he plans to give away 99% of his massive fortune to the Gates Foundation, dedicated to global health, fighting poverty, and saving lives. Gates says he will distribute $200 billion over the next 20 years, then close the charitable organization. They say money doesn't grow on trees, but then why do banks have branches? Those are your Tech Bites.
Clogged gutters can cause big problems fast. Until now. Call 833 Leaf Filter today for your free gutter inspection.
I've had terrible flooding problems on my porch. Now I understand why.
Right now, Leaf Filter is offering a free inspection on your schedule. Leaf Filter is a permanent gutter solution, so you never have to worry about costly damage from clogged gutters again.
Call us today and schedule your free inspection.
To schedule your free inspection, call 833-LEAF-FILTER today or visit leaffilter.com.
Got an itchy throat from allergies? Claritin Liquid provides powerful all-day allergy relief in an instantly soothing liquid. For relief of even your most irritating symptoms, like an itchy throat. Claritin Liquid. Live Claritin Clear. New Swiffer Mop Deluxe is made for small spaces. The upgraded strip has 75% more scrubbing power. And with the new locking head, getting into tight spaces is simple.
Can I borrow it?
The all-new Swiffer Mop Deluxe, the mother of all cleans.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest, on your side.
Good Friday morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us and joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
All right,
I don't even want to look. It's
the big day for your personal goal.
Yes.
I feel like you'd be in a bad mood if you didn't make you
smiling.
You look a little happy for.
My face gave it away.
Yeah.
We got up to 500. It's
Yay!
You did it. Have at.
We have a little trophy for you.
Oh.
It says 3-degree guarantee, 20-day streak.
20-day streak. Wow. Oh my goodness. I'll save the speech for another time. Thank you so much. Yes, this is a new record for the jackpot for a 3-degree guarantee. It's up to $500 now. So let's show you how we got there. Yesterday I went with the forecast high of 73 in Pasco Tri-Cities and a verified right at 73. That feels pretty apropos. So thanks to the support to both Jade and Jessica up at the desk. Okay, for today I'm going with forecast high of 83, much toastier today in the Tri-Cities. So if it verifies between 80 to 86, the jackpot's going to go up to $525. If that doesn't happen, the largest jackpot could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to applevalleyNewsNow.com, clicking on the contest page. You could scan the QR code. That is on your screen. Now what's on your screen is a live look at Howard Amon Park in Richland. This view coming also courtesy of the Legends Casino and Hotel. Clouds building throughout today, and in spite of that, like you just saw with my forecast high, we're going to be warmer today in spite of the uptick in clouds. For right now, 30s and 40s for lower elevations, 30s and 40s up in the Cascades. The same thing with the Blues. Could be a little bit frosty up towards White Pass or down towards Cabbage Hill or Meacham. Here's your hour-by-hour forecast for today for the Tri-Cities. Going to be into the low 60s by 10 this morning, around 70 as soon as lunchtime, and then up into the 70s and 80s as we'll be about 10 degrees warmer than normal for the 9th of May. That means upper 70s in the Kittitas Valley, low to mid 80s for the Yakima Valley, the lower Columbia Basin, and the Blue Foothills. And I'll take you on that zone-by-zone tour of today's very nice Friday forecast. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks, Josh. We begin this half hour with news out of Yakima. We now know the results of what Yakima residents say they care about most. It all comes after a survey was done on overall engagement with 2,000 people completing this survey. So as far as top priorities for the city, they say support for police topped the list with 40%. Street maintenance and infrastructure was at 26%. Parks, pools, community centers, and sports programs were at 25%. And then on the low end was fire at just 9%. City Manager Vicki Baker also touched on responses from the many town halls that the city hosted over the last several weeks.
The emerging themes there were completely different again. This time we heard a lot of excitement about economic development and growing our way out of the situation that we find ourselves in. And lots of questions about when can we get an In-N-Out burger and a Chick-fil-A. It was lots of fun.
I mean, those are valid questions.
All my questions.
Yeah. Now, regarding the budget survey, people wanted to eliminate lobbying and council travel, while also getting rid of funding for fireworks and reducing funding for the Windows Alive program. Council members say they will now take all of this into consideration.
Heading to Kennewick now, where a popular playground was revamped and it's now back open. So take a look at this. This was Lawrence Scott Park Playground before the upgrades, and crews closed the park back in February to make it ADA accessible. And now take a look at the finished product. So Kennewick Parks and Rec posted these pictures saying it's also their only fenced-in playground. The park is in West Kennewick near Canal Drive and Kellogg Street by the softball fields.
Heading to Oregon now, where scammers are once again targeting residents by posing as the Oregon Department of Motor Vehicles and the Oregon Department of Transportation. They're doing this in a new wave of fraudulent text messages and emails.
And these messages falsely claim that recipients owe unpaid toll fees. They then threaten vehicle suspension, legal action, and credit damage. And ODOT officials clarified the department does not operate a toll program, and these messages are designed to deceive people into clicking on links and providing personal information or even sending money. The Oregon DMV emphasized that it will never request personal information through unsolicited texts or emails. And work is about to get underway to replace a local bridge, and it was damaged by flooding about 5 years ago. The Thorn Hollow Bridge on the Umatilla Indian Reservation was flooded in 2020 and then removed 2 years after. Now, officials say work on a new bridge is set to begin May 15th, and the project will install a bridge over the Umatilla River. Along with the approaching roadways, and traffic will continue to be detoured until it's finished. All of the work should be finished by next spring.
Over to Walla Walla now. Just yesterday, they kicked off the 50th year for the annual balloon stampede, but windy conditions kept the balloons on the ground.
And our very own Monique Ledesma was there as crews were setting up for the annual balloon stampede, and now she's showing us how they're keeping traditions alive and the key factors on whether the hot air balloons can take flight.
So I'm looking forward to doing this for as long as I am capable, and that they'll have me.
Daniel Marvickson flew as a pilot for the first time as a pilot part of the event in 1980. Marvickson is this year's MC. And for those who haven't been on a hot air balloon,
I tell people it's funny. I get them in the basket, and then they say, "You can't control this, can you?" And I say, "No, not really." And you're going with me. But generally speaking, a lot of folks describe it as dreaming, because there's no sense of motion.
Justin Elkins traveled from Montana to pilot one of this year's balloons. He says this isn't just his first time participating in the Walla Walla show, but also his first time flying in Washington.
Walla Walla is known for, the vineyards, so I'm really hopeful to get up above and see what it looks like here in the vineyards and the onion fields. And so, the rolling hills, it's just so pretty here.
When it comes to deciding whether or not to go up, Mother Nature plays a part in it.
Safety's our number one. And so we're not like an airplane where we can cut through the wind. We're in the wind. We're in the wind column. So if it's going really fast in a really bad direction, we can't get out of it. So we just have to take safety first. We are having winds in excess of 7 to 10 miles an hour. We prefer them less than that for a safe, even for tethering. And tethering is, if you can imagine trying to handle a sailboat under full sails, you're not going to do it. It's going to go where it wants. So the balloons are very, very fickle about high winds.
For some people, watching the hot air balloons take off is their favorite part of the show. Others is the community.
Enjoy the place to fly. We enjoy the people. And it's always just been a fun opening of the season.
One of our people started crewing for us in the 80s. She was our antique car driver. She's been crewing for us ever since. So we come back partly for the people. Well, mostly for the people.
Yeah, it's people. That's why we're here.
I'm a third-generation pilot. My father started flying when I was 5, so 45 years ago. So this is even longer than my family's been in ballooning. So it's very impressive that the community has supported it so long. There's lots of other communities where they only got 20 years and the community just kind of stopped supporting it. So Walla Walla is just amazing that they can continue to do this.
Marvickson says if you do decide to bring your furry companion, try to keep them away from where the balloons are due to the loud noises. Reporting in Walla Walla, Monique Ledesma for Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Monique. And now to some Washington legislature news. In a 7-2 decision, the Washington Supreme Court upheld a 2022 law banning high-capacity magazines. Now, this overturns a lower court order on the constitutionality of the state's ban, which prohibits the importation, manufacturing, sale, and distribution of firearm magazines that hold over 10 rounds. Walter Wentz and Gators Custom Guns Incorporated initiated the lawsuit claiming the ban violates Second Amendment rights. Some proponents of the ban point to the role of large capacity magazines used in mass shootings, saying the court's decision will save lives.
Well, today wraps up National Travel and Tourism Week, and Visit Tri-Cities says 2024 was an extremely successful year.
That's right, and according to Tourism Economics, 4 million visitors that came to the Tri-Cities, and visitors spent over $640 million in Benton and Franklin counties. Now, last year, with annual spending increasing 2.2% over 2023, that spending generated nearly $80 million in state and local taxes.
Now, in addition, Kevin Lewis, the president and CEO of Visit Tri-Cities, says there was an 86% increase in the number of events booked, but he says they're not just focused on growing numbers, but also growing impact.
And if you're looking for something fun this Mother's Day weekend, from farmers markets to tea parties, we've got a roundup of all your family-friendly events happening right here in our community, and we'll give you all the details right after the break.
But first, giving you that live look outside. There it is, and it's a beauty. 5:36 on your Friday morning. Live look from our Legends Casino and Hotel Sky Camera at Richlands Columbia Point. When we come back, we'll check in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth as we head into your Mother's Day weekend.
The 3-Degree Guarantee, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
For 600 different cigars and 125 pipe tobaccos. For every cigar rated 96 and higher by Cigar Aficionado. For 200 accessories including
Rich, indulgent chocolate with a luscious caramel filling. Discover Ghirardelli Caramel Squares in a bag and a bar. Makes life a bite better.
Irresistibly smooth chocolate. To put the world on pause. Lindor. Made to melt you by the Lindt Master Chocolatier.
Prosser Memorial Health proudly offers mental health services at our primary care clinics in Prosser, Grandview, and Benton City. Our mental health providers are certified, experienced, and now accepting new patients. Taking care of our mental health is vital to our overall well-being and general health. To schedule an appointment, call a Prosser Memorial Health Clinic near you. To learn more, visit prosserhealth.org. This is how we care.
Attention viewers, Good News Today, produced by Richland Lutheran Church, airing Sundays at 9 a.m., will be airing this Saturday, May 10th at 9 a.m. Good News Today will also air a new episode the following weekend on Saturday, May 17th at 9 a.m.
This week on GMA, it's time to celebrate moms.
Love it.
And this morning, the mother of all surprises is on when we pop up and surprise one deserving mom with the biggest breakfast in bed ever on GMA.
Oh my gosh.
This morning on Good Morning America.
It's an Idol Disney 2-night celebration with Lin-Manuel Miranda mentoring from Disneyland.
You've got the magic.
Ian Dunkey performs and find out which 3 will compete in the grand finale. Idol live Sunday and Monday on ABC.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today's going to be another gorgeous day outside, except it's not going to be as sunny, partly cloudy skies across the map. In spite of that, it is going to be warmer for today, as we'll be up around 70 for Snoqualmie Pass, up around 80 for Ellensburg. Then in the Yakima Valley, we'll have low 80s, light winds here, also light winds in the lower Columbia Basin, where these highs are mostly going to be in the low to mid 80s. Maybe you could have some upper 70s down towards Boardman and Oregon. And then for the Blue Foothills, mid 70s for places like Lexington and Heppner, low to mid 80s for places like Adena, Milton, Freewater, Walla Walla, and in the 70s for the higher elevations of the Blue Mountains. Could be a little bit breezy in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County with some of those peak gusts out of the north and east around 15 to 20 miles per hour. Now let's talk about the big picture. We'll show you some of the snowpack deficits and surpluses, and it's just deficits right now in the Cascade Basin. As you can see, the upper Yakima Basin The Natchez Basin, Lower Yakima Basin, all suffer, especially the upper and lower Yakima basins. And then in the blues, it's really just one basin that covers this area, Umatilla, Walla Walla, and the Willow River basins all combined together. The snowpack there is below average, but it's not as below average as what we're seeing in the Cascades.
All right, 5:41 now, and Mother's Day weekend is shaping up to be a special one right here across the Tri-Cities.
Whether you're planning a family outing, looking to pick up the perfect gift, or just want to spend some quality time with mom, there's plenty to do.
Yes, so this morning we're taking a look at the local events and celebrations happening all weekend long.
Yeah, so if you are looking for that perfect gift that says, "I love you, Mom," you can try finding it at the Pasco Farmers Market.
That's right. Starting this Saturday, you'll find local produce, fresh flowers, baked goods, and handcrafted items, and it's every weekend at Peanuts Park in downtown Pasco.
The market runs from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. every Saturday through October, and it's more than just shopping. There will be live music and community events.
So grab your shopping bag and your mom and head out to 426 West Lewis Street this weekend for the Farmers Market.
And maybe mom is in need of a furry friend. If so, you're in luck, because Kennewick and Richland police officers are joining forces with a little help from their furry friends this weekend to host its annual Fur Babies, the Fuzz Adoption event. How cute. Look at these pictures.
Look at these pictures. So this Saturday, Tri-Cities Animal Services are showing off the cutest, most lovable pups from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at their Pasco shelter.
Adoption fees are just $50, and every pet is spayed or neutered, vaccinated, and microchipped. Families can also meet local officers, tour the shelter, and enjoy kid-friendly activities.
And if mom is looking for something magical and meaningful to do this weekend, you can go to CG Public House for an event that is just perfect.
Yep, it's called If Teacups Could Talk, a charming tea party perfect for families and friends to come together, dress up, and enjoy a little whimsy for a great cause.
The event also takes place Saturday from 11 to 1 at CG Public House Event Center. Tickets are $30 for adults and $12.50 for kids 12 and under, with all proceeds going to domestic violence services of Benton, Franklin counties.
Yeah, there'll be sweets, snacks, dress up fun for little ones, story time, photo ops. That sounds like a blast.
It does. I don't think you'd want the dog, the furry friend, but this sounds fun for you.
Right?
Yeah. And it all supports local families in need of a fresh start.
Spots are limited, so be sure to reserve your seat today.
I love it. So much to do around town with mom.
And that sounds like fun. Can
Enjoy
I
it.
even though I'm not a mom?
Because I picture it very, very British. Like I want to wear,
high
I want to
tea,
wear a
yeah.
fascinator.
You can and you should.
I would.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. We have your morning sprint and everything you need to know before you head out the door this morning. And of course, we will check back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth and your first alert forecast, giving you that live look outside this morning from our Dust Devils camera in Pasco. It is 5:44 and we're back after the break.
For 600 different cigars and 125 pipe tobaccos. For every cigar rated 96 and higher by Cigar Aficionado. For 200 accessories including dozens of humidors and fine pipes. It's the educated cigar.
Got a birthday coming up, celebrating a big win, or just want to gather the crew for a pizza and a good time? For decades, Hubby's Pizza has been the go-to spot for family, friends, and fun. Reserve your table and bring the whole gang. Kids, family, teammates, whoever loves great pizza and good vibes. Dig into your favorite pizza, hit up the fresh salad bar, and let the kids have a blast in the arcade. And if the party's at your place, no problem. Hubby's now delivers through Grubhub and DoorDash. A community tradition, a place to celebrate. Acquire the Hubby's habit today.
All right, everybody. I know it's easy to forget things, but we don't want you to miss this new deal from US Cellular. Save big with our best price ever. Just $15 a line when you get 4 lines.
Ooh, I can save enough to buy a gift for my understanding wife.
Sorry, I'm late. Ooh, that's a great deal. I have a facial. This was fun.
Oh, come on. You have flowers? Save big with our best price ever. Just $15 a line when you get 4 lines. US Cellular, built for us.
For over 49 years, Shelby's Floral has been your homegrown neighbor, bringing joy and beauty to every occasion. We're more than just a flower shop and specialize in beautiful custom arrangements, live plants, silk florals, and home decor. Our experienced designers are here to help you with all your floral needs, ensuring that every bouquet is as special as the moment it celebrates. Visit us today at our brand new location on Clearwater in Kennewick. We're part of your community and can't wait to help you celebrate life's moments. Shelby's Floral.
What's bothering Archie?
Politics. What the Supreme Court says ain't got nothing to do with the law.
Dog cat.
Goldfish. Come on now, I draw the line on goldfish.
All in the Family, Sunday night at 8 on MeTV for Yakima and the Tri-Cities.
When 8 years old, Jessica Jalal said she wants to be a reporter. While getting her master's in journalism, she began by interning in Dallas. Now, Jessica brings the news home to you on Apple Valley News Now's Good Morning Northwest.
Always on your side.
Attention viewers, Good News Today, produced by Richland Lutheran Church, airing Sundays at 9 a.m., will be airing this Saturday, May 10th at 9 a.m. Good News Today will also air a new episode the following weekend on Saturday, May 17th at 9 a.m.
Stacy Lee, KapKVU First Alert Weather. Watch tonight. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We're not going to have as much sunshine for today as we did for yesterday, but in spite of that, will actually be a good deal warmer. We'll be in the 70s and 80s for lower elevations, 60s up in the Cascades, 60s and 70s for the Blues. Will be about 10 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. Wind's going to be light for the most part, although it could be a little bit breezy in the Blue Foothills. For tonight, clouds even more prevalent, mostly cloudy skies. There's going to be a low-end chance of a shower or thunderstorm in the Blue Mountains. Overnight lows very mild, 40s and 50s for lower elevations, 30s and 40s for the Cascades, 40s and 50s for the Blues as well. For tomorrow, it's going to end up being a mostly dry day, but much windier, as some of those peak gusts could be up around 40 miles per hour for Salinas Pass, the Kittitas Valley, and also for the Blue Foothills of Morrow County. So the winds will be much more noticeable for tomorrow. But again, like I mentioned, a mostly dry day for Saturday. That's not going to be the case for Mother's Day, Monday, or Tuesday. Very unsettled weather for that stretch, with specific emphasis on Sunday and Monday. So from 11 a.m. on Sunday to 5 in the morning on Tuesday, not very much rainfall at all for the Cascades, valleys, or basin, but between 0.1 to 0.2 inches of rainfall for the Blue Foothills, between 0.3 to 0.4 for the Blue Mountains. And then as we head into Tuesday, that's when we're going to trend drier, but the winds are going to trend much stronger, as peak gusts could be out of the north and west around 50 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, and early indications are that the wind gusts could be even stronger for Wednesday. So we'll continue to keep tabs on that aspect of the forecast very closely. In the meantime, again, very warm for today, another warm day on tap for Saturday. Then that storm system is going to impact our high temperatures in quite a noticeable way from Saturday to Sunday. Then we'll keep it pretty seasonal from Sunday through Thursday. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Dry and very warm for Friday and Saturday, then cooler with small shower chances Sunday through Tuesday, perhaps even a thunderstorm possible on Mother's Day. For Yakima, much cooler by Sunday with small shower and thunderstorm chances Sunday through Tuesday, drier by Wednesday. In Ellensburg, windy weather essentially for Saturday and beyond, with the strongest winds likely being reserved for Tuesday and Wednesday. In Hermiston, rain likely and much cooler for Mother's Day and Monday, drier and trending slightly warmer for Tuesday and beyond. Then for Walla Walla, very warm and dry today and tomorrow, rain likely and much cooler for Mother's Day, Monday, and Tuesday.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time is now 5:49. It's time for your morning sprint in our 5 o'clock hour.
We want to start with the top 5 local things that you need to know this morning. We do have an update on last week's shooting near Clearwater and Edison in Kennewick. Police say a 16-year-old male is now in custody. The criminal apprehension team, with help from the SWAT team and KPD detectives, served 2 search warrants just yesterday morning and arrested the teen without incident. He's now facing charges of first-degree assault and unlawful possession of a firearm.
And people of an area known as Highwood Law Homeless Camp have all been served eviction notices, and the Grant County Sheriff's Office, along with police from Colville Confederated Tribes, placed the notices on over 50 recreation vehicles and trailers. People on the property were notified that they would face criminal trespassing charges if they didn't leave by 10 a.m. Thursday morning. The camp has become a problem area for local first responders.
And we now know the results of overall engagement for the city of Yakima. They surveyed about 2,000 residents asking about what they care about most. And as far as the top priorities go for the city, support for police topped the list with 40%, street maintenance and infrastructure was at 26%, and on the low end, fire at just 9%.
2 U.S. senators say the Pacific Northwest just isn't ready for the fire season ahead. Senators Patty Murray and Jeff Merkley say the federal government has cut thousands of positions from the U.S. Forest Service, with more than 500 in Washington and Oregon alone. That includes many frontline firefighters, and on top of those cuts, they say a federal hiring freeze is putting this fire season at even more risk, and the group is calling on Congress and the Trump administration to restore funding for the agencies that help keep wildfires under control.
And 2 senior dogs at the Benton County Canine Shelter are in urgent need of a loving home, and they need it together. A 14-year-old Beagle mix Leia and an 11-year-old Chihuahua mix Tootie are deeply bonded, and separating them could harm their health. One of the dogs, Princess Leia, is currently undergoing cancer treatment and will need ongoing care. With shelter construction underway, staff says the situation is growing more urgent. If you're interested in adopting this sweet pair, you can visit the shelter on North Grant Place in Kennewick.
In your national headlines this morning, an American will lead the Catholic Church for the first time. Cardinal Robert Prevost was elected as Pope on the second day of the conclave. The 69-year-old chose the name Pope Leo XIV, and he's considered an experienced leader. Prevost was formerly the head of the Vatican office for bishop appointments. He was born in Chicago and studied mathematics at Villanova University before becoming ordained as a priest in 1982. He spent many years as a missionary in Peru, and he's expected to build on Pope Francis's reforms. And the president's eldest daughter made a rare public appearance yesterday. Since leaving politics back in 2021, Ivanka Trump appeared at the Heartland Summit in Bentonville, Arkansas, her first major public appearance since the end of her father's first term in the White House, and she promoted her private business venture called Planet Harvest that aims to expand access to fresh produce. The Heartland Summit is an annual gathering of business, philanthropy, and the leaders or thought leaders put together by the heirs to the Walmart fortune.
In your business headlines this morning at 5:52, scammers are using AI to trick internet users, and now Google says it's beefing up its AI to fight them. The company says its Gemini artificial intelligence can detect tech support scams on computers. Those are the annoying pop-up windows that claim your device has a virus. Well, they try to trick you into clicking for tech support or downloading security software. Google is also beefing up its Chrome browser to identify scams in real time as users visit web pages. The updates have already been rolled out. To use them, make sure your Chrome browser is set to enhanced protection. And Igloo has expanded a recall for rolling coolers due to a safety hazard. The recall expansion involves about 130,000 additional Igloo 90-quart flip and tow rolling coolers manufactured before January 2024. The tow handle can pinch consumers' fingertips against the cooler, posing fingertip amputation and crushing hazards. More than 1 million Igloo coolers were previously recalled in February. Consumers are advised to stop using the recalled cooler and contact Igloo for a free replacement handle. Since the recall was announced in February, the company has gotten 78 reports of fingertip injuries.
In your health headlines this morning, a new class action federal lawsuit has been filed against Minnesota-based United Health Group. A group of shareholders filed the lawsuit in New York Wednesday, and they allege the health insurance company misled investors by not adjusting its 2025 financial outlook after the murder of United Healthcare CEO. And weeks after the murder, public backlash and anger grew against the company over the number of claims it denied. The suit claims the company did not acknowledge changes in business tactics and overvalued projected net earnings, causing shareholders to suffer major losses. And new research shows that cinnamon could have adverse interactions with some prescription medications. Researchers warned against overconsumption of substances containing cinnamon because it could affect the metabolism of prescription drugs. They examined the primary active ingredient in cinnamon and how well it's absorbed when it's orally ingested. They found that it's rapidly metabolized into an acid that can affect drug metabolism.
5:55, talking sports this morning, and the Seattle Mariners will be defending their winning streak as they face off against the Toronto Blue Jays. Teams are set to battle tonight, starting at 6:30, first pitch. Following the Blue Jays, Seattle is then set to take on the New York Yankees next week. All right, a toy synonymous with the latest in pop culture is partnering with the WNBA. Funko says it's launching a line of pop figures representing women's basketball players. The first wave will feature Aja Wilson of the Las Vegas Aces, Angel Reese of the Chicago Sky, Brianna Stewart of the New York Liberty, and Caitlin Clark of the Indiana Fever. Presale for the new pop figures starts on May 14th, just before the WNBA season. There's something funny to me about that because...
The Funko Pops?
Well, yeah, those are funny. But all of those incredible women athletes are also tall. And those little Funkos are so tiny.
They're little miniature.
They're all squishy.
That'll be cute.
And so it's funny to me in my head.
We have more trending news this morning. Take a look at this moment of when a lightning bolt struck a house in Texas, setting it on fire.
A neighboring home's security camera caught all of it.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh my goodness. That is terrifying.
Wow, you can see the footage shows the flames almost immediately shooting from the home's roof. The owner said that they were sitting in their kitchen when the ceiling suddenly fell. It's terrifying.
And that means in that home, they were pretty indecisive about the Pope at that moment. Okay. Well,
oh my gosh.
You stop it.
Anyway, 3 people were reportedly treated for minor injuries, but all are expected to be okay.
Oh, thank God.
That is crazy.
Scary. Oh,
I know.
Gives me the EBGBs.
I've heard from like storm chasers before who chase like EF5 tornadoes. They say that lightning scares them even more. Because at least with tornadoes, there can be a 20, 30-minute lead time.
Yeah.
Lightning, there's like a microsecond lead time.
Lightning
Scary
quick,
stuff.
that's what they say.
I'm glad, hey, all joking aside,
Yes.
I'm glad
that everybody's okay.
Hope joke, come on. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Work is set to begin on the bridge over the Umatilla River. Coming up at 6, we will have a look at the timeline.
And speaking of the Pope, we have more information on the new Pope that was elected, and we'll have the reaction of Pope Leo's brother, as well as local reactions from leaders. And Josh, what are you tracking? Ooh, beautiful.
Tracking more clouds for today, but more warmth. And then as we head into this weekend, specifically for Mother's Day and beyond, looks cooler and wetter. So I'll tell you about that coming up on Good Morning Northwest at 6.